Absolutely devastated, man. I cannot believe it.
This is how I got it back from the body shop. I have a ton of work to do to get this thing back.
My bumper getting tacked up and prepared for the jig and for the robot to get welded.
Look at all these parts. Nuts.
I don't think anybody's done this before. Okay, a little progress update. Excited to try, man. Look like good stuff. All right, sneak peek of the Dirt King Plus 2 long travel. I mean, damn. All right, for science, we're gonna weigh. And I was able to squeeze 5 37-inch tires from the tire shop in here. Look at these absolute chonkers, man. Huge, dude. These are huge. All right, ladies and gents. I'm speechless, dude. It's happening. So pumped. Sorry that this intro's ghetto. Don't really care because I'm just stoked. Long travel, 37s, new wheels, custom painted, 110% stoked. This video is just gonna be random, like little clips of things I've kind of done and documented along the way to get to long travel, to get to these wheels, to get to these tires. We're gonna put them on. We're back, boys. We are back. Just got the truck back the other day, and this is how I got it back from the body shop. My local body shop absolutely crushed it. They were super awesome to work with. They could tell I'm a car guy. I told them don't bother putting back the snorkel on, all that kind of stuff, all that custom work, and that was able to, I don't know, maybe get me out a little bit quicker. But they did a bang up job. The frame's just fine. It was just some fenders and headlight and a little bit of bracketry in there, but we're good. So I have a ton of work to do to get this thing back. You can see the two headlights. There's an OEM headlight that I had to borrow to get all this bracketry correct. But first thing I'll say is Offroad absolutely just goes out of their way, man, to make things right. Incredible company, incredible product. If you missed my last video when I got in the wreck and I kind of talked about it, my Offroad headlight was busted in a gazillion pieces and it still worked. All the lights still worked. That was insane to me. It was literally like dangling in a million pieces. So very sick. Really appreciate Offroad, you know, hooking me up and making sure I was taken care of. So very cool. We got a new light in the garage we're gonna put on. We gotta cut the fender again. This is my third fender on this truck, third snorkel install. Cut a new hole for the snorkel, put that on, put the headlight in. We gotta trim the factory plastic for the backwoods bumper. Brand new hood, so that means they had to take off my solar panel and my vinyl decal. So that's gonna go on. I'm waiting on a new bumper. Gotta cut that side, obviously. Got some new ones of these to put on because they had to remove mine for the other side when they were working on it. Look at all these parts. Nuts. These will be going back on the bumper. These will be going back on the bumper and the fog lights. This is my cell booster that'll be going back on the bull bar. Here's the in-house fab stainless snorkel that's going back on. A bunch of OEM Toyota hardware and things. This is all the parts going back on. Most of this is long travel. That's gonna be going on the truck for the next huge upgrade. My light bar was acting up from Baja, and they have an insanely good warranty program. So you just send it to them and they rebuild it basically. I'm kind of convinced this is a new light bar because it looks so much better than how I dropped it off. Let's see, C4 fender liner going back in. Offroad again hooking it up. Seriously can't believe how cool they are with that. This is an OEM fender, but I'm going to keep the one already trimmed. These are those little visor thingies that are going back on. Yes, a lot of work, a lot of cutting, a lot of trimming. Oh, and if you're looking at that, I stole this 37 from work because I was sick of looking at it because it looks too flippin' sweet, and I might do a little bit of a mocky up, right? Might throw a 37 on this truck, see what she looks like. Probably gonna hate myself because it's gonna look sweet and I'm gonna have a ton of work to make those work if I do that. A lot of work, dude. My back is hurting. I'm like sick. I don't know what this is, allergies, whatever it is. Maybe I'm just old, dude. I'm like I'm 30 now. Is this old? I don't know. Took today off and I'm just gonna try to bang this out, dude. Get all this stuff done. Minus the bumper because it's not ready yet. And I really don't think I'm gonna film anything because it's just install stuff. I'll show you guys after, obviously, when it's all done, and I'll put this video out. Shout out Bob Maloney in Pea Ridge. That's where I live, the city I live, and the body shop that took care of me. Those guys were incredible. I was dreading the whole process. I've never had a wreck in a modified vehicle, so I was very nervous on how the whole process would go. They were great. They understood my concerns. When I pulled up, they understood, like, I'm a car guy sort of thing, so they took care of me for sure. Was very quick. Communication was insane. I don't know, I had some peace of mind there for sure. So here's a couple clips from our production facility. Most of you guys know that I work full-time for Backwoods Adventure Mods. Just want to show you kind of behind the scenes of my bumper getting built. This right here is Oz. He's super talented, man. Such a good dude. And this clip right here is my bumper getting tacked up and prepared for the jig and for the robot to get welded. But just want to kind of show you before it goes to powder coat what it looks like. All right, guys, I want to stop while I'm in the middle of this and show you what I'm doing. I don't think anybody's done this before. I've had some really good results with Plasti Dip, with Hyper Dip. If you've heard of it, it's like a peelable paint. I'm doing it just kind of as an experiment, to be honest, to kind of see how it holds up. But also the way I masked this off hopefully minimizes the damage. And I say that because this is the wheel just out of the box, all black. When you mount it, you know, they run a machine right here on the lip and put a bunch of pressure on it. So obviously I don't want to put any sort of Plasti Dip or any kind of paint right here because it's going to scratch it. And before I keep talking, honestly, the right way to do this is to powder coat them. And I would have to strip the paint off of them, and it's just a whole thing. So I'm not going to do that. This is like $100 just experiment. They make a wheel Hyper Dip, and that's what I'm using. I want a little two-tone look. I think that's going to be super cool, very unique. This is where you're gonna get scratches and stuff. I don't really care about getting scratches on here. It's gonna be very rare to get scratches on this part of the wheel. So that's what I'm gonna paint. And I'm also gonna run no center caps just because I think that looks tougher and way more simple and utilitarian. I don't know if I'm gonna recommend this to you guys or not as a long-term thing. I'm not sure how long it's gonna last, first of all. I'm just trying to be different. I wanna do something fun, and this seems like a pretty cool project. This whole thing is kind of ghetto, but we're gonna see. Like I said, I've had pretty good results with using this product before. I had an old International Scout and I painted the entire thing myself, and it lasted for a gazillion years. I'll let you know how it goes. Got the wheels cleaned and prepped with alcohol and some other stuff. About to lay down this Hyper Dip right here. It's a anthracite gray. Okay, a little progress update. I just finished all of my little dust coats, which are super, super fine right there. Just kind of provides a base. And then after this dries, we'll do some really heavy coats, about 4 to 6 heavy coats. The black is peeking through right now, and it's not the straight gray color just yet. Over here, I want to talk about some stuff I'm doing with these valve stems. So I've ran these before. These are the Apex valve stems. And what I have now on the truck is actually some Morphlate valve stems. Now, these are preferable to these. You can see, if I open this, how much bigger of a diameter the Monster valve is. See the difference there? It's massive on this one. So when you unscrew it, it lets an insane amount of air out. I mean, literally I can air down in like 4 to 5 seconds. With this one. This one's great. It has a couple cons because the chuck isn't a universal size chuck that it is for this, like a normal Schrader valve size. So you have to change all the ends on your 4-way air compressor hose and stuff like that. The other con to this is you actually have to drill your wheel out. I had 2 stems. This is the factory location, I guess, for the stem. I could not get an air chuck in here to save my life, so that's why I resorted to these. And I actually drilled a hole into these nice wheels and made a spot for this. I'm not gonna drill into these new wheels because of the placement. I can't enlarge the size. I can't enlarge the valve hole size in these wheels at all. It's on an awkward little angle in this lip. It's essentially the same thing as those Monster valves, but you pull this lever and it releases a bunch of air. And so that's how you air down your tires a lot quicker. This introduces a new set of complications, of course. You can't use the factory TPMS
TPMS sensors. What you have to do is buy this little adapter kit that Apex sells. And basically it offsets this right here, this little bracket, and allows you to mount one kind of like that to the side. These came with this. This is kind of on the end. You have to cut them off. It's like this. You have to cut them off for clearance. And basically this is gonna sit in your wheel just like this. So it's definitely like, it's not a ghetto solution at all. It's really nice. It's just kind of crazy to order brand new TPMS sensors and hack them up. But that's what we're gonna do.
Okay guys, little status update. We are a couple heavy coats in, and dude, it is looking like literal real paint. It looks sick. I am hyped. First and foremost, I want to thank Borne Offroad. They sent me some wheel spacers in record time, like I think in a couple days, because I needed to I needed these basically for the new wheels with their particular offset. I have to clear the shock body right here. It's just, well, if all my math is mathing, the 2-inch and the 1-inch is going to be absolutely perfect. What I have here is a -25 wheel with a 1-inch spacer, which is essentially 2 inches. My offset now on the new wheels is a 0. So I should be sitting exactly the same offset as this, which I want because I think this is absolutely perfect. Same for the front. If I have that 1-inch spacer on here, the 1-inch spacer I'm about to put on, it's gonna be the exact same as that. So I'm very happy with how this sits currently, and I wanna match that with the new offset. Sorry, the new wheels in the offset. Hopefully all that makes sense. There's a lot of words and math involved there, but 2-inch and the 1-inch is gonna be sweet. Borne Offroad also makes a lot of other stuff like winches and recovery stuff. I've yet to try that out, but I do have some good friends that it's running their products. They have great things to say, so they led me to Borne. So here we are. Excited to try, man. Look like good stuff. Appreciate you guys again for sending those out. Check it out. It turned out 90% good, I would say, and the 10% is me being pretty critical. First of all, just get a good look at it. The two-tone, it's obviously dark outside, but the two-tone goes so hard. It's just so different. The part I was worried about the most, actually, let me show you the worst wheel of the bunch. I want to say it's going to be this one. So you see those little mess ups right there on the corner, or on the lip. And then, I don't know, it's not terrible. I can live with this. If you're doing this, what I learned is you have to, like, the paint literally has to be like super wet. I had to paint like a third, maybe even like a fourth of the wheel, and then pull it while it was super wet. You know, let the tape drape on the side, paint this section, pull it, paint this section, pull it. That gave me a super clean, crisp line. Next, I'm gonna bring these wheels one by one and assemble the valve stems and TPMS on there. There's the TPMS, Loctite. Took me a minute to figure out the order of operation here for the seal and everything, but it actually doesn't stick out too much. It's almost flush with the wheel, which is about there actually. After I finished up with the wheel project, I drove to Adventure Motors in Missouri with my family, and we did some vacationing, so I dropped the truck off. What you're seeing right now is actually the Dirt King Plus 2 long travel kit already installed, but Cole is driving it on the ramp to get aligned. So kind of the finishing touches here on a lot of the work. I mean, Cole crushed this install, man. Adventure Motors, all you guys, Lonnie, Dalton, Michael, Drake. I mean, I cannot thank you guys enough for getting me in and getting me squared away. Always taking care of me. And then right here, this clip is kind of funny. I borrowed my buddy's van. His name's Ethan. And I was able to squeeze 5 37-inch tires from the tire shop in here. So drove these home, and we are ready to get these on the truck. All right, ladies and gents. I'm speechless, dude. These look like 40s. Look at these, dude. Look at these absolute chonkers, man. Oh my gosh, they look good. Let me do like the 1X camera. 2X. I mean, dude, they look huge. Dude, I mean, having that black lip is like part of my graphic designer, like optical illusion kind of coming out. I intentionally made the lip black to kind of blend into the tire, so they kind of look like they're on like 15-inch wheels almost. They look huge. Look at look at these tires, dude. These cleavers are absolutely so aggressive. The sidewall is nuts. These lugs are super sick. There's even like, they're even have holes for studs for ice, which is kind of crazy, and snow. Absolutely massive. I did bring my scale out here. Correction, my wife's scale. I wanted to get a weight difference of my tires and these tires. Just see. Gonna jack the truck up, bust the lug nuts off first, and put the wheel spacers on, get all those torqued and good to go. And then we'll see if I can even drive this thing with these big meats on there. But dude, I mean, this is like exactly what I envisioned. And that gunmetal on the tan is just gonna go so hard. Huge, dude. These are huge. All right, for science, we're gonna weigh these two. So this is not super fresh, but definitely plenty of life left. You can see the wear indicator right there. A lot of meat left still. I don't think I can do this one-handed. Actually, let's try. Okay, here we go. This is not my wife's scale or anything. All right, 96.4. I'm thinking these new ones are gonna be like 107, something like that. All right, I don't know if I can do this one-handed. Oh, dude, what a champion. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, I almost nailed it, dude. 106. So about 10 pounds heavier. 10 pounds heavier for that much more tire and a bigger wheel is not terrible to me. All right, we're taking the wheel off right now. And I just put the spacers on. Dude, one thing I just noticed is, look at all these wood pieces I have to stack. This thing droops like crazy. It is crazy how much this droops. That's immediately what I noticed, which is pretty sick. I did put a little bit of anti-seize in between here because I've always had problems with these things sticking, regardless of the brand or anything, doesn't matter. And then these are hub centric, which is super nice. So they center themselves around the hub so you don't get wobbles. And I know maybe it's not the case anymore, but people used to be really sketched out about wheel spacers. I've ran them on my truck for years in the back. I've never had a problem. If you properly torque these and follow the directions, you're not gonna have any problems. Also, a little trick for wheel spacers, since the front turn and you have to torque these down. I've used this so many times. This is a little piece of square tube from my old bike rack. But basically, you have to wedge it in here like this, and when you tighten it, it acts as like a stop, so it puts back pressure on here so you can tighten it. Otherwise your wheel will spin. So that's what I've done, and it's funny, I'm breaking it out again. All right guys, I just got to the office. Wanted to do a little flex test before I adjusted any bump stops or anything like that. Pretty impressive to start off with. Right from the hub down about 28 and a half, maybe 29-ish, somewhere in there. Huge droop. I did notice I am contacting the shock body at full stuff over there. See if I can zoom you in. Right there, I'm fully on the bump stop. See if I can show you this too. I don't know how well you can see that terribly, but the shock body is being contacted. But it is absolutely stuffed in there. What I'm really impressed with is the long travel front, how much droop I have. This is nuts. That is a lot. I know it doesn't maybe look like a lot with 37s, but dude, that is huge. Impressed there. Limit strap super tight. We're definitely limited there. You
show you the rear a little bit better from back here. I do need to adjust that bump stop because I'm up into the cinder. Let's see here. I mean, yeah, I can't even put a hand in there. And I knew I'd have to do that, so. And then the front, obviously, I'm not turned, but I don't rub at all on the front, like anywhere whatsoever on the front. And these are just the Wheeler super bumps back there. And they're not even like that squished. Let's see. I do have spacers for these, but I don't know if I need them anymore. I don't know, I'm sure a big like jarring hit, I will rub. Well, I actually have rubbed. Forgot to tell you this. I rubbed just slightly here on a bump, but looks awesome. Hey guys, I'm gonna stop you just for a second and say thank you to Onyx Offroad for sponsoring this video. If you're new to Onyx Offroad or don't know what it is, it's a GPS navigation app specifically for off-road trails. I use it all the time to find new trails, and it's also the way that I save all my waypoints, my cool campsites. I share them with buddies, and you can also build your own routes on there, which is super cool. If you have CarPlay in your car, it integrates directly in CarPlay, so you don't need an extra iPad or an extra screen kind of clogging up your dash. It's really easy to use. It's super, super cool. I do have a discount code for 20% off ARC Offroad. You can also check out this QR code and scan that and save some dollars. If you're visiting a new area and you have no idea what to expect, what's really cool is a lot of people have gone into the app and saved photos. They've done a little write-up about the trail. They've rated it with a difficulty level, so you can kind of know what you're getting into before you actually start the trail. There's features like that, plus many more baked into the app that I haven't even explained before. Something I've never shared with you guys is if you're an elite member, there's an entire list of industry discounts, like Method Wheels, I think Decked may be in there, like big brand names. If you're looking to save some money on your build and buy some new gear, signing up for Onyx Offroad is going to allow that to be unlocked for you. Check it out. It's highly valuable. I highly recommend it. I'm not just saying that. Seriously, guys, I've always been honest with you. Onyx really has it going on. So thanks so much. We'll get back to the episode. See ya. All right, it's been a few weeks since that little flex ramp test thing at work. I know there's going to be 100,000 comments on everything that I've just done to this. I know you guys want to know specifics, how it drives, how I'm liking the new tires, the Kendas, how I'm liking the Dirt King, how I'm liking long travel in general. Okay, I'm just going to say that I don't have enough time to form an opinion yet. I need proper miles on this stuff. I need to hit some trails. I need to do all that stuff to give my final opinion. As far as like driving on the street, it's great. I mean, it's fine, you know. I just want to be able to give you guys an honest opinion, and that requires me going out there and using it. But I will say, to my surprise, my MPG is incredibly better, even though I've calculated everything the correct way I believe to do it. I still am having better MPG. I'm going to make a separate video on that, so spoiler alert. And another thing, to my surprise, I don't rub whatsoever lock to lock driving on the street. Even with small little divots and dents in the road or whatever, I have not rubbed yet, minus one small spot. So that's kind of blowing my mind. That's crazy. I did get a great alignment. Adventure Motors gave me a great alignment. 3.5, 4 degrees positive caster and 0 degrees camber. So looking really good there. But anyway, took today off work so I can adjust my rear bump stops. I need to clearance out the front a little bit. I bought a big old hammer, another sledge, a higher poundage one. My firewall is beaten back, but I need to do it some more, because if you saw in that flex ramp test, if I turn it all at full compression, I'm sure it's going to hit. So I need to massage that back a little bit, adjust the bump stops in the rear, and just some maintenance on the truck. Just crossed 100,000 miles, so there's some stuff I need to paint and kind of touch up. There's just little things I need to move and kind of dial in on this thing. I know that I have several videos planned on my whole thoughts with this whole thing. I know this video was a lot, and you're going to have a ton of questions, but I'll try to answer those as best as I can. And also, I just got back from 2 different shows, one in Missouri and one in Texas. and I finished the truck literally the day before the More Expo in Springfield, Missouri. So the truck was out there. I guess it got its debut, you know, with the new setup there at the More Expo. And then immediately after that, the next weekend, we went to the Texas Jamboree in Gilmer, Texas, and I had the truck out there. Unfortunately, I'm still not clearance properly, so I didn't want to take it on the trail. However, I couldn't anyway because my four-wheel drive is not working right now. I don't know if it's the actuator or not, but I've never, ever had problems getting into four-wheel drive, but all of a sudden I do. And so I bought a new actuator. As soon as it gets here tomorrow, I'm going to open it up, see if it's corroded inside. If it's not, I'll just maybe solder some connections and see if I can get a better connection on the deal. Anyway, I'm getting long-winded, but yeah, I just got some stuff to dial in on this thing. It needs some maintenance and some work, so let's look at it. I mean, it just is so proportional to the truck. The 37s just really look at home, especially with the canopy. The canopy just swallows, it's so big, it just swallows 35s. It drives amazing. I don't understand how it drives this good. I thought it'd be a total pig. I mean, it already is a pig, but I thought it'd be even worse. Something kind of crazy on the back. So let me show you this. I had to cut my IU-cab tent. So if you see here, this little rail, I had to notch that off with a grinder to fit the 37, and it is literally made for this. So my wheel sits in this little tray and gets kind of mounted through here onto the back of the canopy. And I mean, it could not be any better. Look at that. I actually had to kind of push the tire in under there very gently, just kind of nudge it in there, but dude, it fits like an absolute dream. So I was really worried that the tire is going to be too tall, or I'd have to take some air out of the tire to fit, but I mean, it clears everything, dude. That's one thing. It's like when you get this custom into your build or whatever, it you have to trim and cut things and make it all work. So we're here. Yeah, I am rubbing the shock body like you saw in that video on the flex ramp. I'm hoping that I can adjust them enough to where it doesn't hit it as much, but it's not rubbing like hard at all. It's just kind of barely there, so I'm not too worried about it, honestly. Front, so let me just show you here. This is my current firewall situation. I do have the C4 fender liners. So when I said that it rubs slightly, like one time on like some dents in the road, I keep saying dents, dips in the road, it kind of rubbed here on the bumper and right here. And that was when I was going pretty fast in a fast speed. So let me just say too, I know the actual real proper way to do this is to take the coil out, bump it all the way, turn it lock to lock, and you are supposed to cut this out. You're supposed to cut all this. You're supposed to tub it and relocate the battery and all that stuff. I'm well aware that's what you're supposed to do. I'm not doing it. At least right now, I'm not doing it. I am personally okay with bumping out the up travel just slightly to where I don't get into this, just to save me from hacking all that up. Maybe I'll do it one day, but I do not have the time or energy to do it. I'm really hoping I can smash all this back even more, kind of flush with this liner. I think once I turn the wheel and the suspension is stuffed, I think that'll give me enough room just to get by. But I do have a cab mount reload down here. Yeah, so just some massaging I got to do. I'm going to take the wheel off and do all that, but I'll give you guys updated videos later on when that's finished. All right, before we end the video, I'm gonna jump in real quick and show you what I did today. As I was editing, honestly, I came out here and spent a few hours, by a few hours, I mean the whole day. I started editing this morning, and then I decided I wanna really dial in this a little bit better and show you in this video before I let you go. But what I did was beat the ever-living crap out of the firewall. I already had done the pinch weld. I had cut it with a grinder and folded it back with the tabs on it. That was fine for 35s, but I went all out here and I did that very aggressively, and I went back with a bunch of seam sealer. I did it the right way. It looks very good. It's all sealed up nice and tight. If you look on the side of the truck, before. This came out about here, and especially really big right here, and I pushed it way back there. I'm really happy with that. I also did a bunch of cleanup in here. I painted the frame there. I took the reservoir mount off, painted that silver. I painted my frame support bracket to my bumper. I painted the inside of the wheel well. I did some more seam sealer up there. Kind of beat some of those areas in where I knew I was hitting. But dude, it is clean. I just wanted to get this on video because this is the last time it's gonna be this clean for sure. You can see how much clearance too we have really right in there, which is awesome. Definitely down there too, but if you look this way, it's basically in line. No, it's more than the C4 fender liner kit. So that's really tucked up in there. So we'll see when I articulate and cycle the suspension with turning how we result with those bump stops. But just wanted to show you guys what she looked like. Something really cool too on these Dobinson MRRs with the finned resis. These are like a little track nut, like a roof rack basically. So you can move this logo, you can flip it, you can put it in these grooves and kind of dial it in where you want to. So I thought that was pretty cool. Nice special touch, but here you go. Okay, we'll go back to the clip I filmed earlier and we'll close out the video. I think that's gonna do it. There was a lot in this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Man, I just can't believe we're here. This is like I said, build version 5. I'm so pumped on the outcome. So thank you to everybody for the support. I can't believe we rebuilt the truck back to this. I kind of just planned on doing a rebuild of just the fenders and everything and calling it good, but we built it better than ever. So stoked on that. Yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much. I'm gonna try my best, man, to get some more videos out. I know it's been few and far between on the YouTube stuff, but I just had a lot of life going on, so we'll try my best. So thank you guys. See you later.